All right, we have found our theme song. I know, I'm just as excited as you are. You are watching The Quilting Shed, and I'm Andrea, your host, coming to you live from the Fredericton area every Wednesday. I know that sounds so cheesy. All right, pause that. Got a list for you today. I didn't put it on a sticky note, I stuck it in my book. This is not my nice and neat looking planner that I talk about. This is my brain dump notebook where I put everything before I put it in my planner and make it look all pretty. I remembered to put in the chat overlay. Thank you to whoever ever reminded me, who said, "Hey, wait, I didn't see all the chats down the side of the video like I normally do. What's up with that?" There you go. Thanks for the reminder. Clearly, I've had too much coffee or tea. It is a dreary morning here, and even though my Fitbit says I got lots of sleep, I could be in bed for at least another hour. Um, Important thing right off the top, I am going to be closed tomorrow. It's just a one off. We're not closed every Thursday. It's just tomorrow, September the 15th. Multiple reasons, because I had to be closed for one reasons and then we scheduled some other stuff. So first up, if you do swing by, there will be no power at my house because an electrician is coming to replace our panel. Nice, for reasons, which you'll find out later. Electric car plug, that's all. No biggie. The other reason is some of you know my father's in a nursing home down in St. John. So when they have things like medical appointments, a family member has to take the nursing home resident out to their appointments. And when you have a senior with very limited mobility, in this case, when we go out, we just take a wheelchair with us. It takes a long time. I can get there from here, door to door, from here to the nursing home in an hour and 10 minutes, no problem. And I'm not even rushing. But it's all the stuff in the middle that pretty much takes all day. So I can't go too early in the morning. I can't go too late at night because then it messes up his schedule. So the best thing for him is for me to just close the shop and go at a time that's convenient for him. So that's great because we get to also spend time together, which is very important. So there's that. So we are closed tomorrow, but it's a one off. Yeah. Ta-da-da. And who's here? Susan and Rose and Kathy are all here this morning. I don't know where my mom is. She probably doesn't know where she is either. She's probably out with medical appointments, and I'm just glad I don't have to take her around too, because then I would just I don't know. This is some. I think this is why your parents all get ill when you're like older. After you're done with the kids, you get like a just breathing room, and then your parents start to go downhill. And it's just mom's here. It's okay, mom. Um, Funny story. My mother will appreciate this. All weekend, Ron's been like, if we have a memorial service after we die, we should play this song at it. And they're all like, he's been listening to Olivia Newton-John over and over again. He took that hard. He was a big fan. But yeah, there's lots of Olivia Newton-John music on our. I'm reading my mom's comments. Olivia Newton-John on our memorial playlist, and a few funnies too, which I can't tell you about because it's just not safe for people. So there's that. So we are closed tomorrow. Mom says she retired just so she could go to all the medical appointments. I was talking to a friend yesterday. She said her dad's retired and driving her crazy because her mom's still working, so he keeps contacting her while she's working because it's easy. But her mom retires next year, and I'm like, that'll be great because then you'll never see them because they'll just be too busy. They'll be everywhere. Tell me about your retirement. What do I have to look forward to? It's not going to be for a like a good 10 years here. Like, this is the quilt shop. I'm sticking with this thing till I'm retired or the world blows up. 50-50 right now. Hey, Angela Awesome Penny's here. Woohoo. Hi, Angela. Misread your name. Thought you were Anne Marie. It's the A's. Not that I'm not excited to see you, but I'm going to stop in and see Anne Marie tomorrow too when I deliver stuff. Sometimes I deliver. I know. It's a good thing I have a list because then I can keep on track. So the other thing coming up is the Keswick Ridge Quilters Guild Quilt Show. And they're having it over at the Burt's Corner Lions Club. The Burt's Corner Lions Club is actually not that far from Keswick. It's in the same sort of area. You go in between hills. It's a hilly spot, so it's from one side of the valley to the other. Still in the same region. Still a lot of the same people. It's out in the country. The little card I'm going to give you when you stop in has a little map on the back. It is not this weekend coming, but next weekend, Friday, September the 23rd, and Saturday, September the 24th. Also, my youngest grandbaby's birthday. So I'm going to pack up from the quilt show, then run over to their house, say happy birthday, spoil the kid for however long I can stand it. They hired a petting zoo for this child, and I'm like, is there snakes? There's snakes. I'm like, I'm out, but I will show up because I have to be brave. Back to the quilt show because you're not going to my grandbaby's birthday party. Um, Quilt show, Keswick Ridge Quilters. We had a guild meeting this week. Lots of great quilts are going to be there. The theme is Quilt Around the Clock. It's 1950s. The decorating committee is having quite the time, let me tell you. And I mean, they're having a lot of fun. So if you like the 1950s, you should come because I hear the Pink Ladies are going to be there. The girl gang, pink satin jackets, ultra cool, gorgeous ladies. They're going to be there just to. Can I post a picture of the map to the quilt show? I will do you even better. I will add, after the video, I will add a Google Maps link so you could see how far it is. Yeah. Burt's Corner Lions Club. It is 42 Route 617 in Burt's Corner, NB, located close to the Keswick Valley Arena. It's not that bad. It's a nice little drive out there if you're leaving from town. So we'll have vendors at the quilt show. There will be a quilt raffle. I was reminded that I do actually have tickets for the quilt. This was the COVID quilt that a lot of members did. There is a bed turning, a members market, and refreshments. The refreshments are going to be pretty stellar, I tell you. A bed turning, if you are not familiar, they will have a bed already set up with multiple quilts stacked on them, and they will turn down the blankets on the bed one at a time and give a story for each quilt. And Mom, I told them I would put in the anniversary quilt you made for me. So if there is more of a story to that, other than we made it for my anniversary, I would love to hear it because I got to submit that because they're getting kind of testy with me. Oops. Um, they're not getting testy. That's dramatic effect is what we call it. So there's that. Ding, ding, ding. The quilt guilds are starting again. Like I said, the Keswick Guild met earlier this week. The Fredericton Guild meets next Tuesday. And I think the Elm City Guild meets the Wednesday after that. I don't know. I'm not in the Elm City Guild. But if you have a guild, feel free to pass on the information to me and all our viewers and all our Quilting Shed fans. Because some of them really, really want to go to nice quilt group meetings. They're really anxious. They don't know what it's about. And I know some of the guilds are looking for new members, so let's connect the two of you so we can all, be happy about quilting together. Yay! So there's that. Oh, geez, I'm getting right in there. Uh-oh. So this week I forgot to go get one thing. It's a tube. This is not it, but it looks like a glue stick like this. I have this glue stick iron cleaner. It's a little fatter. And Kathy, who's in the comments, did a video for me, and I tried to edit it and get something out of it, but it sort of fell by the way. She kindly did a video where she tested it for me, and it was hilarious. But her helper kept doing a slow-mo, so it was like slow-mo iron cleaner, which was less than ideal. So, but I did have somebody try it this week, and that was their hints and tips for the guild. When we were at the meeting, they was like, "Does anybody have any hints and tips?" And she was like, "I do." And it's where you share products or a tip that you found. And she was like, "I got this iron cleaner from Andrea, and she's got it all over her. You put it all over the base of your iron while it's hot, and she let it basically stay there and be hot until it flaked and got all sooty and fell right off." But she said everything fell right off. It was so clean. It was awesome. And that reminded me, It reminded me, Mom, of our oven sagas because I did a lot of cooking on the weekend. I do a lot of pre-cooking for the week. It's like you can call it planned leftovers, you could call it freezer cooking, you could call it making your own frozen dinners. But we're very, very busy, and everybody in the house has different dietary needs. So sometimes it's not worth it for me, for example. If I'm the only person in the house who can eat a traditional lasagna, I can either just go buy like a single frozen one, which gets expensive, or I can just make a big old regular lasagna in that big tin that you got me, Mom. That cast iron one, the Wolfgang Puck one, which is stupid heavy when it's full. That's what I used. I made a lasagna and I made a shepherd's pie, and I cook a lot of other things for Ron for through the week. Like some of you've been here early in the morning, where the bacon is still in the oven. Like I'll do one or two baking sheets. I'll do basically a whole big package of bacon. We get it from a little mart, the Hanwell Mart that's just down the road. They sell locally grown meat. That's where we get our meat, not the grocery store. We get it from local farmers. So they have these really big packages of bacon, and I cook a whole bunch at once. So it's almost done. So at lunchtime, whenever Ron has time for lunch, because it's not always the same time, could be anywhere between 11:30 and 1 for him. He just goes and gets 3 slices of bacon, nukes them for 30 seconds in the microwave, and he's good to go for the rest of his lunch. I know. It's like we're efficient. So I had been doing all this cooking, back to the oven. My mom knows where this story is going because she's done this, setting off all the fire alarms. Well, I finally set off a second one that we hadn't set off in quite a while. The batteries are just fine. Had to take out the batteries for the rest of the weekend, and then I my oven's self cleaning, which I forgot about. So I set it on self clean one morning, and when it was all done, it was soot all in the bottom. And when my mom says she cleans her oven with a vacuum, she's not kidding. It sounds hilarious, but there I was trying to wipe up all this soot out of the bottom. I'm like, damn it, I hate when my mother's right. That's the sound of my mother laughing hilariously at her house. But yeah, so I had all this soot at the bottom of my oven that I was vacuuming out, and the iron cleaner I have works very efficiently in the same way, except you won't have to get your vacuum out, and you'll have a very, very clean iron, kind of like me and my very, very clean stove. And this time, I got smart, like my mother's mother, who we always make fun of for being like super picky about cleaning. But put a layer of aluminum foil down on the bed of my oven, so that next time it gets on the foil and not at the base of the oven, and I can more easily pull that out. I am officially an old lady, people. I've been cleaning things that's like, yeah, I'm old. So that's that. So that was the iron cleaner story and the cleaning my stove story. And the iron cleaner, I believe, is less than $10. So I think it's like 7. Can't see it from here. Uh, Angela's letting me know that Elm City met last week, and the cotton mill starts next Monday. I think the cotton mill meets during the day. Let me know if that's correct, Angela. Ooh, is the highway still closed coming from the west? Ooh, I did not know the highway was closed coming from the west. I have no idea. I guess we'll have to check. So there's that. Michelle meant, is the highway closed coming into my shop? Cotton mill meets during the day. Yes, Angela says that's correct. So if you would like to meet in the day and you're on the north side, the cotton mill on Monday, some Mondays. So what came in new? There are some things that I'm waiting for. Things have slowed down a little bit, but they're going to gear up again once we get going, because I do have some stuff coming in October, and there's a couple things that are late. Lovely, because I know what that means. They're all going to land at once, and I already have a big purchase planned. Yeah, it's a busy month, and I can't even believe that it's mostly halfway gone. So just to follow up on old projects, one of the things I had ordered, the jacket I made, I hadn't decided what to do with it, and I said maybe some frogs. One of my supplier had frogs, so I got a few of those, but only one was left in stock, the brown ones. But they're kind of like a burgundy brown. They're just, I don't like them. No, I don't like them. Even like, yeah, see, no. So it's one of those times where I have this look in my head where I know what I want, and I'll probably have to make my own rouleau. It's called. It's a little thin tube. And there'll be people be, why did you do that? It's like I was that was the look I was going for in the end, and I couldn't find it anywhere, so I had to make it. I know, but when I make those rouleau, one of the things I can use to turn it right side out is these bodkins. They are back in stock. If you can see these, I'm doing like I've been watching YouTube videos where they've been showing products and they put the hand behind them. Look at this gorgeous product here. Here we have the two bodkins in a package for $1.99 for $2. What's a bodkin? Bodkins have been around for hundreds of years in slightly different forms, but you can't see it while it's in the package, and I couldn't find the one that I own personally because I lose it a lot. I should probably tie something onto it. But it's two pieces of metal with it's like a really big needle, except the whole entire middle here is a slot. So you can put your ribbon or your rope or elastic or whatever through the big hole, pull it down so it's tight, and then run this through your casing. So, like if you have a hoodie and the string comes out, if you have a waistband and the elastic's coming out, that sort of thing. It's very handy. If you're making yet again more masks like I did this weekend, you can also use something like this. So they're back and I have lots and they're super, super happy. Japanese button balls. Yes, something like that, Angela. Something just like that that match the coat. Angela, sometimes we get the brain going and we know what each other means, and there's only half sentences, but we both understand, which is great. So the other cute thing I got in was just your normal average fabric glue stick, temporary fabric adhesive. $4. Looks like a regular glue stick, but hey, it's at your fabric store. They have tested this on fabric, which is one of the other things. One of the guilds I know is having a workshop with paper piecing, and they asked me to make sure I had everything in stock that the participants would need. So if you are in a guild or you are planning workshops, you can just give me a holler and say, the workshop is going to need these things. Can you make sure that they're in stock so our guild members can come get them? And I will happily do that for you. Like restock some needles too. I know this is boring sometimes, but Microtex sharp needles in various sizes. Oops, got to do the professional YouTube thing. Blah. So Microtex needles are actually very, very sharp and very, very thin. They still come in the regular sizes, but if you're doing things like sewing through a layer of paper, and also people who sew with batiks really like using these because they are basically what it said, extra sharp. They will go right through those fibers and for more accurate stitching. On the opposite end of that range, some people, like me, sew t-shirts, quilts, or sew knits or anything. And I also got in the ballpoint needles. So unlike being super sharp, they're ballpoint, which means they are a little dull at the ends, slightly duller than a universal needle. Not that the universal is dull, but you know what I mean. So these are a little more blunt. They still sew through your fabric, but they aren't piercing the elastic kind of threads that are in your knit fabric that leave holes. And if you've ever sewn knit fabrics and you're trying to get your t-shirt quilt together, for example, and you get a lot of skip stitches, change to a ballpoint needle, and 90% of the time, the issues will go away. Try that first. That's my tip. If you do that and it still doesn't work, I don't know, maybe we can put our heads together and find something else that might go on. And I have a lot of marking tools, and some people, they have particular things that they really, really like. So one of the things that I did get in was the old-fashioned blue water-soluble pencils. I also have them in white. So you can mark your quilt top with these pencils. I don't know if that is chalk or what is in it. It didn't say, but it feels like chalk to me, but it's in a nice pencil format. There's that. And there's the box of the white ones. See, I have lots. Remember I asked about school supplies? I was like buying pens and pencils, and oh, it was great. I know. It doesn't take a lot to amuse me. So I have those pencils. Yeah, it was a boring notions order. Well, boring. It's not that boring. So the other thing that I got in, these were cool. I got in this nice bin. I love it when it's in like a bucket like this. I got in a bucket of grippies. See, nice little bucket of grippies. So they come 3 in a package like this, 1 of each color. You can't get like 3 red, 3 purple, 3 blue. You got to get 1 of each. And they are $3, so $1 a piece. And what they are for, they look like this. They look like this. They're silicone coated and they've got metal inside. And you just pinch them and they open. And you put your sloppy old bobbin right in like that. And it covers up these threads and they can roll around in your sewing kit or whatever, and the threads aren't going everywhere. There is also a little loop here if you wanted to string. I've seen like people have like a big wire and they string these all on, or another way to attach it to your thread spool. Like I'm lazy and I don't know what thread spool this came off of. I can probably guess, but I don't keep mine neatly together like some people do. But if you do, this'll help. But this will keep the if you don't have a bobbin case, um, this will keep them nice and neat and tidy. And I just played with them here because you can pretend they're like Tyrannosaurus or something, and or crocodiles, and have a little fight. If you have little people in your sewing room, sometimes you can just say, "Here, play with these." Keep them busy for 5 seconds. So $3 for a package of those. And the other fun thing, I had a week of like people were like, "Do you have blah blah blah?" And I didn't, but I was placing an order somewhere, so it's like, I'll just throw it in the bag, throw it in my cart. So these are the magnetic seam guides. You put them on the base of your machine, right before where you're sewing and pushing your fabric through. They stick. See, this is a metal. This is a sheet of metal they've provided with me, and you can have a nice little red sewing machine. Nice little purple zipper, because you do sort of put it like this way and your fabric edge will butt up against that to help keep you sewing it straight. And this cute little fake tape measure. I have no idea if that inch is accurate or not. But these are like $3.50, so super fun. And the other fun thing I got was these sewing coasters. If you're like me, you've got a cup of tea or something in your sewing room, and maybe you didn't have a mug rug made, or maybe you're just trying to be super fancy with real coasters. But there are 6 of them. They're $5 a piece. But you can have obsessive crafting disorder. They make good presents. Eat, sleep, and sew. That's my favorite. A day spent sewing is a very good day. And love to sew, favorite color. And so much fabric, so little time. So there's that. I will be bringing a lot of these fun things to the quilt show as well in a week and a half. And Danielle's there in the comments. Danielle is also coming to the quilt show as a vendor. So Danielle and I will be downstairs in the vendors hall with shenanigans ensuing. We have plans, I'm telling you. And you should just come. You should just come by, because Danielle and I are finally going to do things in person. And if it's going like half as much as what we both see in our heads, you're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, look at me, Danielle. I'm making promises. So now on to the irons. I got in one of the Clover mini irons with a little tip like this. This is the only part that gets hot. So if you're doing something little, that's like $50, but it does look not too bad. If you were going to like a retreat or a workshop or something, and you knew you were just ironing little things, not like entire rows, that looks pretty handy. And now, I got in to see interest, 1 each of the Oliso irons. Did not take it out of the pretty box. I got a mini one in the purple. I know, they come in lots of cute colors, like the purple and the turquoise and the yellow and the pink. I thought it would be just way too selfish of me to get in the pink. Like, if I was going to buy one for myself, which I might do, but my iron's fine right now, then I would get the pink for me, because that's my color. So this is a normal, I think it's the mini iron, but to me, with my tiny little fairy hands, it seems like it doesn't look. I'm a tiny person and it's like 2 hands big. So that seems like a nice fit for me and my little hands and my little, if I'm doing a lot of ironing, that would be great. But if I were doing some heavy duty, I gotta iron the whole quilt top and do all the row seams and really get some heavy duty ironing in there. The Oliso Smart Iron in the lovely turquoise. Two retails for $270. It has iTouch. Your gentle touch activates my iTouch handle to quickly lower me in place. It has an auto lift system that instantly raises up when your touch handle is released. Ooh, so fancy. Yeah. Got a 2-inch detailer tip. It's 1800 watts. It heats up in seconds. Huh. It has a Pro Press sole plate and a dynamic ceramic flow sole plate. I'm guessing that's like the same sole plate. It's not, doesn't have two. It's just like two terms, fancy terms. Ooh, smart sensor also auto shut off. It has a 30-minute standby and a 30-second safety switch. Wow, that's pretty good. I'm just using like a regular Canadian Tire iron. I don't know what brand it is, but the thing that actually sold me on it was it said it won't break if you drop it from heights from 4 feet or less, which, if you know me, that's entirely legitimate. I can break things really easy. So that's why I haven't tried out something big and fancy and expensive like this, because if you want somebody to test if things break easy, you just give them to me and my family and we'll figure out how to do it. Sometimes not even intending. But yeah, I like the mini one because it includes it includes a silicon soulmate iron pad. I know, fancy. That one's 85 and the other one is 270. You can come ooh and ah at them all you like. And I got super fancy and sorted all the fall fat quarters. These are assorted prices, but look at all the fall things we have for you with the fat quarters. Anywhere from 250 to $5 for fat quarters. Whew. That was heavy. And last but not least, because my mom likes to know these things, I said I started to sew a Charm Square tote bag, and a couple of newsletters back, I included a link to a funky looking one. It was at least 3 newsletters because it's been a while, because I got it all the way up to the point of sewing the handles and inserting the lining, and I just stopped because I didn't feel like changing my thread, and I put it together and I never changed my thread anyway, so I could have just finished it already, but aha. So this is a Charm Square tote bag, and see how they're all on the diagonal. It's kind of funky. It's a little weird when you're sewing it together, and it has this smaller top. The person who wrote the blog post tutorial about it said it made a really good knitting bag, and I can see why, because it's got the small opening and it's got lots of stuff down here. So it'd be a good tote bag for storing lots of medium to small things, and not, I'm going to put a big large thing in here. This is my William Morris uh, charm pack that my cousin got for me in England because she lives there, and she's has a degree in archaeology and works around a lot of museums, and this was in one of the museums. Speaking of the art gallery, the Beaverbrook Art Gallery downtown reopened, and they have some William Morris tapestries, which I keep mentioning because I actually have some William Morris fabric coming in October. Crossing my fingers. That's why I'm excited. So you will be able to buy fabric similar to this at my shop in October. I know. Until then, we get to look at my snazzy tote bag when I go out with my snazzy, oh, look, they do match, my snazzy new jacket. And that, my friends, is your Wednesday morning quilt show with everything that Andrea's been up to and all the new stuff. I know. The Harvest Jazz and Blues Festival is also this week. So I had this cut out of fat quarters with the jazzy musical instruments, and I do have some just music notes and things. But I also wanted you to see this lovely fat quarter of dachshunds and sweaters. Look at that. I don't have it in yardage. I just have it in fat quarters, but it's stinking adorable. And it's hiding in the fat quarter bin of fall fabrics. Oh, there's more of them. Yeah. And I have some Canada geese as well. And there's like fall stuff with like, fall leaves or whatever. Of course I have that. That's like a basic. Jeez. And my lovely shirt for the day. Anyway. Hello there, Bev from Edge Squared. Bev will be joining us at the quilt show as well. So that's things you have to remember. Quilt show, not this weekend, next weekend. Come for fun. Tomorrow, my shop is closed. Friday, we will be open again, as well as Saturday. Other than that, I think we're all caught up. Okay. I'm good. You're good. The weather outside, not so good. But we'll wrap it up and I will see you later, ladies. Ladies, there is no gentleman around. Okay, just checking. Got to make sure I play you out to the right song and not my accidental Prince playlist. That's me, Andrea from Fredericton and the Quilting Shed. Look at the link below in the comments or description. Maybe it's above or below. We don't know. And my other tip is if you do see something in this video that you like, leave yourself a comment so that you and I can find it later. Because it's really funny when somebody comes in and says, I saw something you showed in a video and I want it, but I can't remember what it is. And I'm not singling anybody out because this has happened a few times, not just one. And there's my mom saying, bye, sweet cheeks. Bye, Mom.